this on places?
Yeah.
Like
Twitter, Facebook. I think it gives you an option to like put the link up somewhere else too. I don't know, just copy the link.
oh wow.
And then
This is absolutely fascinating.
what I find really cool about it is like when you go to share it on like Twitter, it captures a GIF file.
It ain't gonna show our faces, is it?
Does.
Is it gonna show our
It
faces?
does.
It's gonna show the
Yeah.
faces.
And so when you
Well, I swear
on
it's a
Twitter,
good time that I took a shower this
oh my
week. I
God.
swear. Listen, came through Jesus. Well, how you feel, brother?
You know what?
Listen, I feel like at any moment somebody's gonna try to put me on timeout.
Because you just feel like you're doing too much.
That's how I feel.
Because you do.
You done told a little bird. So when somebody say told a little bird, does that mean that you?
Yes, that's what that means.
Oh, that is so corny. Oh my God, that's corny. That is corny.
Let me take my headphones.
But not Negro. Okay. I saw my going, all right?
Huh? You said you what?
I keep talking. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't say anything.
Tired.
Bless
so
God.
tired.
All right.
I feel like you like choppy. I don't understand why.
It went to Facebook. You said you went chunky. You had chunky soup?
I said you sound chopped up.
Boy. Okay. Well.
Oh, and it actually
on
when you put it on. Yeah. Okay, so
my audio is
chopped up.
So I don't know what that means. Do I need to do something special? Because I don't be banging with Blab like that.
I don't listen. I'm the last one to ask about Blab.
Do I need to turn my headphone on? Do I need to turn my headphone on?
Dawn is the man.
Right now, it sounds fine.
Mm-hmm.
I cleared my throat, but that's what it was, brother. And if you go messing with the hair, go ahead. One more time. I'll wait for you.
No, you're not going to do that to me. He said I'm not quite technical for Blab yet.
I'll wait for you to check your hair.
Nope, I'm down. I'm good.
You sure? You sure? Oh, you put up the black power fist too. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Listen. We need everything we can get, boy. Jesus.
Thank you, John.
Did you watch Chris Rock last night?
Are you talking about me?
Chris Rock last night?
I watched Chris Rock.
Oh, I know you saw it.
Oh.
I thought he was.
John didn't watch it because I was actually on Periscope at one point and he skipped it. Don was not with it. I don't blame him.
I think it was absolutely fabulous.
You thought it was what?
So, thank you for bringing to like the face looks.
I feel like you're choppy again, and I just missed everything you just said.
It looks, yeah, I felt like it was choppy a second ago.
I don't know. Is your volume loud? I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but you sound real choppy. So, like, I got none of what you said about Chris and him. Do you think the choppy's like a feedback, like the thing being like, I don't want to do this no more? You said what, love? I don't know. I'm trying to see. He said try refreshing. The good Lord.
That was just a little slow, but we're going to pray for it.
But it wasn't. It was. You're right. You're right.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. So hey, can we start all over again? Like, thank you for bringing me to the Blab. I appreciate it.
Well, no problem. I'm here.
This
That's
is
what I'm here
unique.
for. I help
It's a
you.
little different, you know. This is different.
Yeah.
This is a little dope though. This is all
I
right.
like
Yeah,
it.
this is all right. I was gonna stay away from Blab because I felt like Blab was for kids. That it was one of them type joints. Uh, but I think it's really, really dope for shows where you're going to be interacting with, people like this. It's better than the Hangouts already, I think. This would be a great platform for like debates or interviews with people. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind as I go forward in the Lord. Uh,
I had myself on mute,
so
so
hey,
you didn't hear that.
yeah, I saw your face though. I saw your face. That's all right.
I just want to point out too that I feel
Welcome to Safeplace. This extremely what? Naked? Oh yeah. I was going to mention that earlier, but yeah.
life just happened so fast.
So how do you usually do this? Or how do you usually do this? Do you just start talking, digging in? I noticed that you and Tori, uh, usually just kind of go off on a verbal rampage, is what I would describe it
That would
as.
be accurate.
Yeah, just that. Did you want to kind of have that same thing? Because I can do that with you.
Yeah, but I think we do that pretty good,
I
actually.
ain't gonna be able to do it.
I think we do that pretty well.
Okay. So let's talk about what we listened to earlier today. I sent Dina this link for this podcast. It's called "Context of White Supremacy" with Gus T. Renegade. And what Gus does is he talks about racism and white supremacy, but he talks about it in a constructive context. So what you're not going to hear Gus do, Gus ain't going to be calling black folks name and name. Gus is black, but he's not going to be calling black folks coon and Sambo and all the other negative names that we tend to address to other people that we disagree with. So I was listening to this podcast, man, and they had this author on there who was talking about uh, beating, spanking, disciplining kids. And I think the name of the book club was, matter of fact, Beating Black Kids is the name of the book.
Right.
And I want to say her name is like Ashley Akbar or something like that.
No, her last
We'll
name
actually
is
get the accurate
Kirkland. Her
name for
first
you to
name starts
share.
with an A. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah, it was like Alicia. It was like Alicia Akbar. It
it
wasn't
was
like
something
Akbar. I
like
thought it was.
Fight the
I'm not
Power.
trying to be serious.
It was something
I
Fight the
thought it
Power.
was. Yeah, it was
Like
it was Fight the
a
Power.
shot or like something. It was something like that. Kirkland.
Well, one of the things is just by hearing her name, you would assume that she is somehow a part of uh, the Black Power Hotep movement. All about motherland. But she's into Scientology. Like it was fascinating, and it just came out of nowhere. Like we're listening to her talk, and she's giving all this good information, and then all of a sudden she's like, "And I've been in Scientology for 15 years." Like everything just stopped. Like you want to rewind it back and be like, "Hold on."
Did she say son?
Now, did she say Scientology?
Right.
But she was talking about how she was attributing how black folks are notorious for spanking and beating and whipping their kids and attributing it to blaming it on the fact that we've been conditioned through slavery to do it. That's why we do it, because we still have that type of mindset. Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. Uh, she offered some nuggets that had you pause for a minute. She had some stuff that'll make you think just for a minute, be like, But then again, it wasn't everything that she said wasn't on point. But I thought it was fascinating, and particularly from the fact, though, me and Adina have had conversations throughout our courtship talking about disciplining kids. And anytime that you have what people want to call a blended family, meaning, we know what it means, meaning that the two adults who are getting together in matrimony are bringing uh, kids along with them into it. You know what I mean? So uh, they did that, and it was absolutely wonderful how she pointed it out that it can be incredibly difficult when it comes to the, the discipline of the kids. Like she broke down discipline in a way that I really probably would not have broken it down in that manner. You know what I mean? But when you're dealing with people who are bringing their own kids from other relationships to the table, it can be one of those things where you got to be really, really careful. And I think from a man's standpoint, I'm just going to speak for myself. I would be, and I think it's really unwise for men who go into relationships with women who have children to just try to do a Superman and jump right into the role of disciplinarian. Just try to jump right in, just try to, and I understand that the area and the way that a lot of the brothers are thinking, they're not necessarily thinking on the level of trying to, take control of the situation. But I think what they're trying to do is, and I think they're going about it the wrong way, is they're trying to establish their dominancy in the house first. Like, I'm the man up in this piece.
Right.
Like, this is how, you know what I mean? Instead of, like Don just said, make sure that you have a relationship first. Now, the problem with this, though, is that a lot of these brothers don't understand that aspect. So if you don't understand what it takes to actually have a successful relationship with a child, and you're dating a woman that has children, you're almost destined to fail somewhere. You're almost destined to have some level of conflict somewhere if you guys don't talk about what discipline should be. Like, I'm not spanking or beating what the lady on the show did anybody else's children. For one, I don't even spank my own kids. Well, she's 19 now. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, it's really, really important for people to have a conversation. So me and Adina have had that conversation before. We've discussed what discipline is. We've discussed ways that we wanted to raise the children together and how we were going to do it. And it's just really, man, listen, bro. Chop her right in the throat. Like, chop her in the throat. And call it a day.
That is so funny. Hey, my mom says the same thing. And I'm in my 30s, so,
Never too old.
It can always do that.
Like what they used to say, I brought you in.
Take you out.
But I think there's a level of what she did, what the lady was saying. I think there was a level of accuracy and a level of truth to what she was saying. I think because of the way things are within Black culture today, that it's really difficult. Discipline and raising children. Speak of that arrow is really difficult. Hey, girl.
You say hi?
It can be difficult if you don't have proper communication. What do you think, love?
I agree. It was listening to the podcast was very interesting. Of course, because this is my first relationship outside of having her. So even having to think about the things that go into place when, deciding to have a relationship. And then with us getting married now and, all that kind of stuff, thinking about, the life, the long term, of it all. I've always appreciated that we've had communication the way that we do, which is very honest and open, pretty much like what we do these videos, but that we've talked about that and that both of us view the whole beating or whooping kids the same way. And I think that, right now, I guess as a first time parent, I think that, I feel like I don't really have to beat her. You know what I mean? She's not two, like she's one. She's never been here before. She don't know. She don't get it. But she's very intelligent. So there are certain things that I know that she does know, that she just kind of does because she just wants to see if somebody's going to say something or not say something. But I some of the stuff I could agree with the lady, and the other stuff I was just kind of like, okay, you know what I mean. But I did think that there was a part of the interview where she was talking about how and I can't get the technicals and the medicals together, but she was talking about like where if you beat a child before a certain age or around a certain age, like certain parts of their brain don't develop. The portion of their brain that allows them to make decisions doesn't develop because you kind of beat them into submission, so to speak. So they never really have the ability. What she said, I think she said negotiate. Maybe it was like they're negotiating skills or something like that. Like there aren't any because you never gave them any options. It was always straight to the belt or whatever the case might be. So she was like,
and we know within the Black community, in our families, wasn't no damn negotiation.
right?
It wasn't no, let's sit down and discuss what just happened. Hey, I'm bringing this point to the table. It was do as I say and not as I do. Was the classic line that I think every Black mom or Black dad has instilled in us. But and I don't think that it's necessarily bad. But I think it also tends to have a level of deficiency also. Because I think what it has prevented us from doing oftentimes is it's failed to teach us and show us how to actually communicate through those different things without the resulting, okay, I know if I do X, Y, Z, it's automatically going to go to the belts.
Right.
It's automatically going to go to that. And I'm not anti-belt. I'm not anti-spanking. I just think that what we have to do is we have to teach our children a little bit better and prepare them for what they're going to face once they leave the crib. And not just be on some, I'm angry because you done did some stupid stuff and I'm just going to go upside your head now without even teaching you what you did was absolutely foolish. And here's the whooping.
Right. Well, kind of explaining to them what it was that happened. You know what I'm saying? To cause that type of reaction or emotion, or even in what they did, how it can damage them down the road or currently, or just kind of giving that layout for them so they can see it and understand why you feel like you feel about what happened. And it's funny because Kevin on stage, who's a comedian, right? He was talking about this like a week or so ago on a scope. And he was like, I don't believe in beating kids. And he has 2 kids of his own. And he was saying, he didn't believe in beating kids because he thought it was stupid. Like he said something about his son, his oldest son, his younger son. And he thought that it was stupid for him to hit the older child, because he hit the younger child. Like, that makes no sense. Why would I hit him to show to show him not to hit his brother? And I kind of thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, you don't want anybody hitting anybody. So why would you necessarily hit him to prove the point of not hitting his brother? So it was very interesting that we got on this today and that lady, said what she said. And I think for me, just listening to her talk about how it is enough. But I think, her saying too about how, people growing up and not having that ability to negotiate or those skills to communicate effectively, like that's not what you want. You know what I mean? Like you don't want your kids to not, it could be example was like, they're 20 or something going into a job interview and they can't negotiate their their rate of pay, their hourly pay. So they're just taking whatever they feel like they deserve or whatever they can get or whatever's put out initially because they have no negotiation skills. And I don't want this one any of the other ones to follow, or our oldest child to have to go through that. Like, why? Well, of course, she's already set, but of course, this one and the others, like, I don't want them to be stuck and feeling like they're obligated to take what somebody put before them. But that's a whole nother, conversation. But
And it's just the fact that, and again, I think that's one of the keys is my thought process when Chantel was younger was, I want to give it to you when you're younger, so you understand. I want, and not on some, so I could instill some fear up in your behind. So but I want you to understand while you're younger why I'm teaching you and corralling you and bringing you into this to give you understanding. Like, yo, listen, what you're doing is not good now. And plus, I done warned you 50, 11 times not to do this, and you continue to do the same doggone thing. Here is the consequence for this particular thing. And what I had to learn how to do also is one of the ways that I've always, even when I was counseling and teaching kids, was I want you to learn natural, logical consequences for life. Like, if I warn you and tell you not to wear your new sneakers outside and play in the dirt, it's not because I'm trying to teach you the value of your sneakers. I'm simply saying that at some point in time, you're going to be upset that those sneakers are dirty and I ain't buying you no new ones. It's some natural, logical consequences. Like, if they're pulling on something and it's going to fall down and it may do X, Y, Z, sometimes like, yo, if you do that, this is what's going to take place. Now, I'm just going to give you some advice and some wisdom to help you not find yourself in that situation where I know, because I did the same thing, you are taken care of. But I think that's one of the things when she kept harping, though, on the slavery aspect and the conditioning aspect, it was just like, okay, we get it. I understand you want to use that as an example. And to a degree, I agree with you. But let's not make it seem that every person who is spanking their child is spanking them based off of the conditioning that they got from slavery. Because what you're saying is, you're saying that we can't tell the difference between actual rational discipline and conditioning that our ancestors received in slavery. So now not only are you saying that I'm doing a slavery-like activity, you're also in questioning my intelligence and saying that I don't know the difference between the two. Like, all in one. It's like, come on now. I dig what you're saying, but easy.
Don't do too much, man. Don't do too much, because you don't You don't want to do too much. And that was the thing that for me, I was just kind of like, damn. I was like, she talking about this one more. Like, don't nobody want to hear that? I mean, I get it. Like, I understand the point you're trying to make, but come on. Now, another part that I enjoyed of the podcast was when the gentleman was reading an excerpt from her book, and he was explaining, one of the people that she interviewed for the book was a Christian, and she was having a conversation with the Rastafarian dude. And I always was so confused about the Rastafarian, I don't know, faith, is that what we want to call it? Because I always heard them like quote stuff, from the Bible, but then they were like, they don't believe in Jesus, and then they were like, they was body, and I was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So, but the example that she gave, the excerpt from the book, the lady was saying that, she had met this guy, Rastafarian, and he had 7 kids, and he had told her that he never beat any of his kids. And she had 2, I think they're fairly young children. And they started having a conversation about the passage in scripture that refers to, not fearing the rod because it's for the child, that whole thing. And the Rastafarian broke it down to her and was like, it doesn't mean the literal rod. It's more so of you being, he said the way he understood it was he looked at himself as being the rod. And the kids knowing that, they couldn't break him or, do anything to hurt him because he's a rod. When you think about a rod, you think about something firm. You think about something that doesn't break, something that, will withstand, any type of battering or whatever you want to call it. And so he said, put himself in the place of being the rod versus it being, you better spank them kids. And really, even listening to the excerpt made me think, wow, the Christian church does do that. They tell you to beat your kids. Like, and I never really, thought about it. I mean, I understood the scripture. I heard it, all my life. But I never really thought about, the way that, I never thought about that aspect of it. And of course, after I thought about it, she came right behind after the excerpt was done, and she says, she goes into this whole thing about the how the Bible was used to brainwash Black people, blah 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 blah. She was like, it's easy to see from that scripture, and she was like, Solomon wrote that, and we should try to be more Jesus-like or Christ-like than Solomon-like, in terms of being Christians and stuff like that. And I didn't even think about, like, that wasn't my next thought, but I could see what she was saying from, her side of the spectrum or whatever. But I just, all that slavery, listen, everybody ain't beating their kids because we was in shackles. Like, and it wasn't even us. Listen, I hate to even have that conversation with people because I just feel like it was our ancestors. Yes, we should feel some sort of feeling about it. But at the end of the day, it wasn't us per se. I think we should be in touch with those things. But, people talking about reparations and all that, me personally, I ain't really with all that because I don't get it. Like, we want people to pay what? We want them to do what for us? You know what I mean? And having that constant conversation of, slavery created this, slavery created that. We all know that. Like, we know that. So you don't have to, like, harp on it. And even, like you said, make it seem like the reason that people would, choose to discipline their children in that manner is because of something that happened as far as the slaves and the master and all that.
Sure. And the verse that she's quoting, man, is that she uses that is classic. It's Proverbs 13:24. And the thing about that particular verse, man, is, for one, if you know anything about scripture, if you've ever actually studied scripture, how it was written, how it was put together, all those type of things, you got to understand that, first off, Proverbs is considered a book of wisdom, meaning, also, in other words of putting, it's a book of great sound advice or suggestions. There's absolutely no commands from Jesus in Proverbs for you to do anything. Now, people will use tons of different proverbs to suit themselves and to build a theology that they can try to back their point of view up on. And they'll use it from spare the rod to he who finds a wife finds a good thing and finds favor in the Lord. Okay? Now, that doesn't tell you to go out and stand on the doggone corner and hold up a sign, I'm looking for a wife. It tells you that when you find one who is suitable and has the qualities and the qualifications of a wife, and you marry her, you will have favor. Not because God is going to give you 1,000 blessings based off of the fact that you just got married. It's the fact that now you have a mate who is going to add to your life and do great things in your life because you guys are on the same page. It has nothing to do with spiritual blessings, like God is going to say, hey, you got married, woo, you ain't sinning no more fornication, yay. That's not what's happening.
You know what
He is simply saying, like, yo, I know, and that's why I'm going to try to move past it as quick as possible. What he's saying is, literally, he is saying that your wife should be a blessing. Over 70, I would say at least over 60% of the verses within Proverbs is speaking of marital relations. It is telling men what type of things to do with your wife. It's telling women how to be a certain way. It's warning you to. It's just amazing how we've taken these verses and tried to build theology on it and scare people. But what happens is you have these people who have listened to this verse, Proverbs 13:24, and said, oh my God, I got to spare the rod. Or I'm spoiling the kid. That's why my kid is so bad, because I didn't beat them. As if spankings is the only form of discipline that you can give to your kid. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't do anything else but what they tell.
And I'm going to tell you this. I don't know who's watching this and who's not watching this, but I am the product of not being beat. Like when I was like, I didn't go through that. Like I had, like there were times that I got beat because I was the oldest. You know what I'm saying? And my brother was doing something, but I wasn't a kid that always had to be, disciplined or popped or like mama. I was one of those kids where my mom could just be like, "Listen," and I would just break down because I guess maybe.
Listen, I got my last whooping when I graduated high school on graduation night. You hear what I'm saying? I got my last whooping graduation night. So I am a product of, and that's the funny part about it is, and it's a hilarious story that is probably a little inappropriate to share right now on why I got that whooping. But I'm sure my wife is not going to let me not give it to her later.
They don't know you like that. He said spring of 95. Look at this man.
Listen, it was 1992
Bless
on a hot summer night on the streets of Philadelphia. Listen, there is a story to be told, but
not in the street.
I really can't share it though. Listen, man. Oh my God.
I don't think I'm that yet. I'm gonna get that story first. We got ready.
Yeah, I got to make sure. I gotta put that through the wash to make sure I can I get all the stuff about it. But it's funny is I don't know what, man, that when we as black folks are talking about I don't know the difference between whoopings and spanking. I don't know if a whooping is just black for spanking. You know what I mean? Because we'll say whooping. Is a whooping the same thing as a spanking? Because we all agree, I think, that a beating is like knocking on child abuse's door. Like, hey.
I don't know. I feel
when you start picking up objects and stuff, like what object is out of line to beat your kid with? To spank your kid with? Like is it only a hand? Is it a flip flop?
A knife? I don't know. Because I feel like, like my aunt beat my brother one time with a wet washcloth, and I thought that was inappropriate.
Like I know folk who tell stories about getting beat with extension cords, and I'm like, what? Like, hold on, time out. On what point? I'll take B for 1,000, Alex.
I'm tired of you.
But hey, we just gonna try to keep it borderline R right now. Borderline R. Just because of kids, because I don't want to ruin my good Jesus reputation. But it's hilarious. Like but that spoiled the ride when she broke that down, and the guy was like, "I got 7 kids, and I've never laid a hand on any of my kids. I've never laid a hand on any of my kids. I learned how to be, just how to be a rod." Unbreakable, standing still, you know what I mean? And he was just kind of going into it. Now, I think to a degree, I think that is really, really possible to be that type of person. But I also think there are times where this lady had 0 tolerance for the hand to the behind. Like, she was like, under no circumstance should you do it, because that's what happened in slavery, and that's what your slave masters did. And like, I get it. No one is disputing that during slavery, our ancestors were beat. No one's not disputing the fact that there are still slavery type residue that many black folks have in their mentality. No one's disputing that. It's not even an argument or debate. We get it. But I think the demographic of people that she's going to hit is only going to be those people that are, I don't want to be derogatory, negative, but at a certain maturity level. Like for people who are actually able to articulate and think logically and critically, what she's saying is dope. It's going to have some nuggets, but it's nothing that we're ever going to be able to build on. Like, okay, we get it. Now you're going to have to graduate to another level to be able to get to another place. And the one thing that she did mention that I disagree with her is economic status. Like I felt like within families that are a higher middle class economic standing, that whoopings are less. And I think that poverty plays a huge factor in how we discipline or don't discipline our kids.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm not really sure why that would be that way or why that would be breakdown necessarily. You know what I mean? Like that it comes down to economic status based upon whether you book the kids more or less. But I can see it. Like I can dig it. I can see it. Right.
Man, listen, broke people get frustrated faster. Let that water bill not be the time get paid.
I'm tired. But that's not a reason to
Listen, think about that though, just for a minute, how that would play into effect the fact that you don't have money, the frustration.
Yeah.
And having some change, having a little change in your pocket can make things a whole lot different. Like you can go,
But
you
I
can
think
spoil your kid. You can buy him a game. You can buy him some shoes.
But I think that being frustrated about, your means is not your children's fault. Like your children they weren't screaming from your ovaries or your testicles. Like, let me out. Nah, they wasn't doing it.
Well, I don't know.
You know what? I want to stay safe. I'm not going to do
this. I'm just saying,
But what I'm saying is,
tension gets a little tight every now and then.
So listen, not today. Not today, Satan. Not today.
You just gotta.
But what I'm saying is, I just feel like it's your job, parent, to take care of them. So whether they were here or not, you would still have a water bill. Would it be as high? Cool, maybe not. Whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to process your feelings, your frustrations. And I know a lot of people don't do that. They're not really with that. But listen, in these last 5 months, I have learned to get myself together.
But even in those last 5 months, you have been in a situation, in a setting where mentally you have things around you may have been crumbling, but mentally you have become stronger and more empowered than you feel like you ever have been.
It's true.
You know what I mean? That's a tribute to you and how you have responded to the situation. So I mean, we're talking about people, and I think it's fascinating when we begin, because we talk about racism a lot, but then there's this whole classism factor between blacks. Like there's a whole nother dynamic, a whole nother form of discrimination that we do towards each other that is absolutely nuts. And the way that people deal with their frustration and anger. I mean, let's go to Penny getting burnt on Good Times. Like, Lord, when Penny got hit with the iron, I cried. Don't burn the Penny no more. Don't burn Penny.
Kim Fields' mama was no joke.
Where is James at? Where is James? Because James would have said it. Oh, James was dead by then, wasn't he?
No.
Yeah, I'm just killing black folk. But James was dead by then, wasn't he? And you couldn't count on JJ to do anything but try to lay it down. That's it.
And Michael could have sang you a tune, but that was it. But even that leads into a whole.
But Michael was my dude, because Michael was that. Michael was black all day up on that joint. Michael was radical and unsafe. You know what I'm saying?
My man was all the way. He was round down. Okay.
Michael was all the way. Like, listen.
My man.
Laying the white people out like, you a giant turkey, you hunky. He was going all the way in. Yeah. But I think she offered good stuff, though. So what are you thinking? Because you got a statement. Mm-hmm. She did what?
I said her bits and pieces was cool.
Yeah, it was. But she got, you know how you be hearing people talk, and you can just hear when they get frustration how the hood just comes out of them, how they can be having a real articulate type of conversation, enunciating all their words and they verbs, and adjectives, and nouns and such. The right button hit, and next thing you know, what little bang, listen to their voice, and they like, sister girl, listen here, bruh, and things just start going downhill. when my man started agitating her.
What happened? He went away. Well, then there's that. That's very, very true. You all right? Now I can't hear you. I don't think you got a mute button on your app, though. And your little screen, is there a mute button? Hey, Tori. Is there like a little speaker button in your thing? Oh. I have no clue what the app looks like. I don't even know how to make it work. I cannot hear you at all, love. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Why I can't hear you? We was having a good conversation. Look, I was trying to make sure you wasn't calling me, so I can't hear you. I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you. But I can't hear you. Right, that's what I'm saying. Did you hit the mute button? Let me look at this one. Right, exactly. See what Faithfully Bill said? Ain't nobody hear you, brother. Hold on, wait a minute. Did you hit the little speaker button? Because it's a little speaker button right in your box. It don't have an X by it, do it? I can't hear you on there or on here. And like that, he's out. So I'm gonna see if he comes back in. Why does that always happen when people got good conversations happening? Hello? A silent blab. Hi. Nope. Blab don't want us to be great. You started talking about Penny on Good Times and it took you out. They trying to kill you dead on the Blab. They won't let you be great. Oh yeah, thank you. Doggone it. And you're on the app, so I don't even know. We didn't turn the camera around. Because I can't hear you on here either. I don't know what happened either. But you didn't hit the little speaker thing. You ain't hit the little speaker in the corner of your screen? It just went out. It probably will have to reboot is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. He might have to, yeah. You might have to refresh. You might have to like close it out and then come back. Thank you. And you want me to kick you out? You ain't want me to kick him out though. You ain't want me to kick him out. Thank you so much. He is? My wrist. I'm about to say my red. My Periscope was on fire just a second ago. Oh. He on Periscope watching stuff on Periscope? Is it okay to be petty? He watching something called, is it okay to be petty? Yes, it's okay to be petty. No, it's not okay to be petty. Are y'all petty individuals? Don't be petty individuals. Mine too? Well, that's no good. Am I going in and out? What'd you say? Huh? What happened? You got kids all over your face? Some days you just want to be petty. Yeah. Oh, well, shoot. Thank you, because I ain't even seen him come back in. There you go. I hope this works, because we was having a good conversation. I got a feeling it ain't work.
Can you hear me?
No. Hey!
You can hear me?
Bless God.
Well, look at God.
Won't he do it?
Man, first off, I want to give a shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Pookie and Ray them from down on 52nd that sell the Lucy's and the sugar water. So I appreciate you guys for having my back throughout all these years.
I just had to get you a moment. I felt like you needed a moment. You mad? You big mad or little mad? Okay. So anyway, look, before the war.
What else the super safe folks say? The liquor night.
You mad? You want to sit up here?
Bring it back.
I do, but they weren't working. I'm scratchy.
Who's scratchy? Who's scratchy?
Am I? My headphones ain't want to be great. It was working earlier.
Nah, you've been scratchy the whole time, though.
That's what Donovan just said.
Should let you be great.
Let me be over. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my headphones.
You got them on?
Wait a minute. Hello?
She said, is there a fan near the computer?
No. I think it's a fan. It happens a lot.
Is there a dog breathing real hard by the computer? Is your little midget neighbor over there breathing real hard by the computer? It sounds like your computer got asthma. Your computer sounds like a fat dude after running a mile.
Who sounds like a fat dude running a mile?
Your computer does.
I'm telling you, you talking about me? Okay, you gonna buy me a new one? Let's get a new one.
The beautiful thing is, what? Look at. Say something. Say something.
Buy me a new computer.
Well, see, the way my life is set up, when yours is mine, and when mine is mine also. So we are definitely on the same page.
Oh, he tried it. Y'all heard that, right?
Look at that. Look at that. That worked out so much better.
Listen, man, I had been thinking about where they were.
Come through twice on this.
Well, come on here.
Twice he has come through.
Right, exactly. Tell him, Don. Tell him it's gonna be all funny games to them wedding bells attack.
Listen, ain't no change on the place. Listen, except last name and location. Listen, that's it.
Well, because then there's that.
If there's that, we gonna
And
do
he
it, man.
still
We do it
thinks
all
that
the way.
everything is
So what
gonna
we
be
talking about?
his.
We was,
His. And what's mine is his. He out of control over
everybody's
that.
gonna be what?
He think he heavy D.
Listen, man. We already know life is not even set up like that.
Oh, I can't wait to have that conversation with the peoples. Y'all gonna have to follow.
I don't think they ready though.
Y'all gonna
Boy,
have
they
to
gonna be
follow.
judgy on us.
Yeah, that's gonna be Judgy McJudgy right there. But that's okay.
What she's
That's
talking
okay.
about is we're gonna have a conversation about marriage, what marriage really is. We're gonna look at marriage from the biblical context. We're going to examine how marriage has come about to what it is today. We're going to try to find out where marriage, as we have today, has originated. And yeah, just let y'all know, it ain't what you thought. It ain't what you thought, and it's probably ain't what you know either. But hey, we're going to say that for another day. Then we're going to talk about fornication.
Yes. Yes, let's talk about it. I can't wait. Listen, and she want to like run the computer, and it's not gonna happen. But I can't wait till we touch on those topics. I know it's gonna be, a charged show. Both of those are gonna be very charged topics. Because we've been taught so many things just because they just want to be in the mix. So we've just been taught stuff that's just not, And I don't want to say I don't think it's brainwashing.
I think we did the. I don't think that it's either. I think it's. Anyway, we'll get into all that because we mess around and start talking about it now. But the one thing that I do want, when we did the YouTube video, the Google Hangout, there were some people who had questions. There were some great comments, man, some dope comments. And then you had some Debbie Downs.
Just a
couple that came through. It has some unnecessary criticism.
Oh yeah, okay. I see where you're going. So let's do it.
There's some unnecessary critiquers came through and shared some stuff because they were upset that we did not lay out a foundation of where we were headed, what we planned on doing, and give people a background of how me and El-Adena met, and how we fell in love, how we got to this point, and all those things. And that was absolutely intentional. Okay, it wasn't the fact that we're trying to hide anything, that I'm on the run from the law or any of those type of things. It was purely the fact that we have it's incredibly organic, and we want those type of stories to come out as we have discussions. As we talk about stuff, you'll hear how we met. You'll hear what we think about each other. You'll be able to pick up on those things. And I just felt like, and she agreed, that it would just be kind of boring just to say, hey, well, we met on this day doing this, and she had on this color blouse, and her booty was moving like that, and I caught her, just all those type of things. Just kind of
not today.
Unnecessary. Just unnecessary. So there are things that we're going to be telling you guys as we go along, man. I just hope that you guys continue to come through, share with us, man, talk to us, give us feedback, allow us to discuss with you. Hey, girl, you can't hear me though, can you? But I know you can see me. She can't.
Yeah, she can see you.
She can't see. Oh, okay.
You say hi.
Hi. I'm talking about you, girl.
You wave.
Hi.
So, Lady Adena.
I'm still stuck on the fact that what's mine is his and what's his is his. We're going to work about it. We're going to talk about that later, though. We're going to bless God. We're going to talk about it later, though.
That was like 50 minutes ago.
But it wasn't, though. But at any rate, I enjoyed our show today, our conversation on today. Y'all share if you feel led to share. You ain't gotta share. It ain't a mandate. But we enjoy doing these. We enjoy having conversations about real life stuff that affects families and affects love relationships. The other thing that I wanted to tell people was that we're not necessarily here trying to give people love advice, because we don't really know what that's about. We just like to share our experiences and where we are and things we've conversed about. And I almost said conversated. Just things that we've shared between each other. So the conversation tends to go that way as well. It's just kind of like two friends just having conversations. So I hope I was going to ask you about that. Can I put it on
We
YouTube?
often have conversations, man. If you recorded it, there has to be saved on your device somewhere. You just gotta find it and be able to upload it to YouTube.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. A lot of our conversations that me and Adena has just pop up and just sprouts up out of something that we've seen on TV, something we've listened to, or a question that we have. And it just takes off like that. Like, one of the things that we spend a lot of time, or did spend a lot of time talking about, was gender roles. Men being men, women being women. We spent a ton of time examining that. We spent a lot of time actually talking about our failures in relationships, things that we could have done differently, things that we could have done better. And the beautiful thing about a lot of those conversations, it wasn't like every time that we talked about the fact that we weren't in relationships that we were in before, it was never on a overtly or intentional negative. Oh my God, our exes was this and that. A lot of it was just like, they weren't a fit for where we were headed. Like, we ain't cool, we ain't sleeping together, we ain't all those other things.
Right.
It's just like, we ain't there. Thank God that He has blessed us with this, and we've moved on. That we never have had any walls up that we've prevented each other from talking about particular things. Like, we get to then with a topic.
Yeah. And then a lot of times we spend a lot of time, talking more so about each other, where we wanted to go, what we wanted from this relationship, how we viewed each other, how we viewed the relationship, for years, what we thought about each other. We didn't really give a whole lot of room to specific exes and specific situations. It was just like, I've been in a situation like X, Y, and Z. I didn't really like it. That's not really what I'm looking for, and moving forward with each other from there. So we have really, really, at least in my mind, and I think in the minds of those that have seen us together, that see us together, that know us, individually and know us together. Bless you, Tank. I think that
Bless you, kid.
people, he said, bless you.
Bless you.
Bless your heart, girl. But go ahead, sweetheart.
I think that people understand that we have really great communication and we have really great admiration for one another and a great respect for one another. So these conversations are just beyond amazing, and they're almost repetitive because they're conversations that we had, again, like he said, while we were courting, you know what I mean? So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We enjoy our time and our conversations together. So we hope that you guys stick around to hear our innermost thoughts.
And I think I love the fact of how well her and I do communicate. That was something that we both knew that was incredibly important for any relationship to be successful. And I'll be honest, though, there are aspects of our relationship that can be difficult. And those aspects have absolutely nothing to do with her and I. Like, it's nothing about our relationship. There's nothing about her that makes it difficult or hard or trying. It's usually other people on the outside who have tried to somehow sabotage it, give spotty They project their own failures and their own relationships onto us. They do all that type of unnecessary and unfair stuff. You would think that the people who know you and love you and have seen what you've come through and what you've gone through would be incredibly supportive of you, and they would have your back and all those things. But what I did was I didn't come into this with her with that type of expectation. I didn't come into this thinking that I got to please the people around me in order for my relationship to be successful. I came into it thinking that if I please her and keep her happy, all the people around me will just fall off to the wayside. Like, this has to be the primary focus. You know what I mean? Her and I. And there are people who are going to end up watching these YouTube videos and watching these blasts who have seen me on Facebook, you've seen me on YouTube, you've seen me doing XYZ, but you've never seen me smile the way that I do. You've never seen me laugh the way that I do. You've never seen all that type of stuff. All right, Don, take care of yourself, bro, and stuff like that. You've never seen it, but now you get an opportunity to see that dynamic, and it's all because of this wonderful place I am with her and Jalen. Like, it's dope as hell to be in love and happy. Like, that is a beautiful thing. So when people are like that, it's like, yo, you should grab your pom-poms and be excited. Like, oh, I'm just hype and happy and love. Like, but no, it's like, ooh, are you sure? Because,
Yes.
you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? It's all those type of things. But it's dope. Yes, and she did it. Like, yo,
No.
it's like that. It's like so thing.
No. Yeah, we are actually engaged.
Wonderful.
Married.
Yes.
Thank you, sugar. Because we thoroughly excited.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Everybody gets their shot, right? Well, not everybody gets their shot, I guess.
They do. Well, my daddy used to say there's a mountain climber for every mountain.
I'm tired of you.
I'm not
Tired
quite sure
of
this
you.
is what he's talking about, but I'm not sure
But we'll take it.
that's what he was talking about. Huh?
We have been together.
Nah, Luke, that's not me.
No. We have been together. How long have we been together?
We've been together for like 23 days and 40 minutes, something like that.
I don't even know what the accurate is. I don't even know what the accurateness of it is. To be quite honest, I have no idea what the accurateness of it is.
But we've been together a little, would we say a little less than a year?
Yeah. A little less than a
year. Yeah. We'll say that. A little less than a year.
That's what I wanted to say initially, but I was trying to count and then I just lost it and it just wasn't working.
Yeah, because at the time, are we deciding whether when we met or
that was 6 years
fell
ago,
in love, right? Or when we actually became a couple? Those are actually
3 different
phrases.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And I love those type of questions. I love them because they're stereotypical, and that's not a knock against you for asking the question, but it's one of those things because sometimes people are asking them. We've had people ask that question as a way of attempting to examine the authenticity of our relationship. You have others who try to, be like, oh man, y'all been together that long, y'all like this already. That's so cute. And you probably don't never hear me say like that ever again. But it's one of those type of things. But it's just really fascinating to see people who just see us for the first time, or any new couple that they just meet, and how they begin to ask those type of questions. And if things are good, People usually respond well if things are negative. People usually draw some type of negative conclusion or, things along those lines about the relationship.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I deleted it. I figured it was something
Oh
something
yeah, that's
crazy.
why. That's why. Yeah, that's why I ain't even bothering with it. We appreciate autism because
Oh Lord.
we ain't here to troll sheets. We ain't here for the troll.
But we've been together a little under
Oh
a year
Lord, you
because I
ain't
think you
going up.
got
Come on now.
booted
Yeah,
when you were
I'm
asking.
sorry. We've been together for a little less than a year. When we actually get married, it will be more than a year,
No.
right? No? Okay. Well, we get married in May though, autism. That's the thing. Just her and I. We going down to New Orleans. We going, we gonna get married by the water.
Show
With this
live.
nice little bed and breakfast that Jeffrey gonna take care of us for.
What's his name? I thought it was
Jerry
wife.
gonna do.
Anyway, go ahead.
Jerry doing the ceremony,
That's Jerry. And Kim's gonna
right?
take the
Ain't
picture.
Jerry? That's Jerry.
Uh-huh.
Kim gonna take the picture, and we all on first name basis. We on first name basis with anybody that we got to pay money to.
Hello?
That's what. Listen, when I go to
Shoot.
McDonald's drive-through, I want
Thank
to
you,
know the
Chrissy.
first name of the person that I'm giving the money to. We met each other on Facebook, autism. We met on Facebook 6 years ago. We were in a Facebook group together, and we were living drastically different lives, meaning that we both were in individual relationships at that time. Uh, so we met on Facebook though, 6 years ago.
6 whole years ago.
And I stalked her. You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't. No. I was very respectful towards her.
He
Incredibly
stalked me in
respectful.
silence.
I sure did.
Because I don't think when we met, you weren't in a relationship then, though. I don't remember, but
I was not. No.
I think that happened after the fact.
Yeah. You weren't around, so
I wasn't available.
Well, I know.
Nope. We used to.
We did. We did until a couple of months ago, and we will here shortly because I'll be relocated there. But when we did live near each other, we spent as much time together as we possibly could. Did the courtship, all that type of stuff. So yeah.
He used to take me out on dates or whatever.
One of our favorite places to go was IHOP. Let me tell you. Listen.
We are here for the food.
We are going to get married,
food.
and I am going to relocate to where she is.
Yep, we're getting married in May.
Move from here, to be where she is.
I wouldn't say complicated. It's very it's and not even challenging so much because we're such good friends, but excuse me, it definitely forces us to communicate. Oh, you're fine.
Oh no, you're not prying. It's okay. We appreciate the questions, actually.
Yeah. It actually it forces us to communicate on a whole nother level, which I believe will carry over into our marriage. So into our day-to-day life. When we are on a day-to-day interaction basis, we have a really, really, really incredible bond and a really incredible knack for communication with one another based upon who we are as people and also based upon previous situations. No.
No.
Nope. Each of us has our own.
She is not my biological daughter at all, but my goal is to be a positive role model in her life when I marry her mother. So, yeah, that's my little
awesome.
homie.
A mess. And he as well has a daughter, so it's like I don't want to say even trade because that's not what's happening, but
It's a fascinating dynamic, and it's one that is, for many, is incredibly unusual, and for others, is because it's unusual, it's really difficult for them to understand, which leads to all these types of questions and stuff that people ask usually with very nefarious type of intent.
yeah, people have been very, very, very. I don't want to say rude, but people have been very, inquisitive of the authenticity of said relationship. So it's been very interesting to say the very, very least. And we've just kind of gotten to the point, I think for both of us, age-wise, life experience-wise, and just how happy we are, where we're just kind of like, okay, well, we'll give you the answers, but if you don't believe it, then that's not our business.
Yeah, we're not looking to try to convince anybody of how much we love each other.
Because ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, do they? They don't have time for that, do they? No, we ain't made it that far.
Well, beautiful. I think this is a wonderful place. And you know what, autism, we have absolutely no desire to prove anything. That's not even in our personality, individually, to live that type of life. And it's really not in our livelihood to do it now that we're together. It's like, no, we're not interested.
We're happy, and at the end of the day, if God forbid something went left, it would be us left to pick up the pieces. So not everybody else.
Yep.
Little girl.
Not everybody else.
So, but we believe we're doing the right thing. We're happy. We're in love, and doing these wonderful blabs every week.
Every week. We usually wanted to do them on Fridays, but the way life was set up this week,
last week. So, Miss Charlene, if you have a YouTube channel,
this is past my bedtime, y'all.
Yeah, it's past your nap time. It's if you have a YouTube, we're on YouTube too.
Yeah, that's all right.
But I think we're El-Adena Bailey over there.
Yeah. And you're going to be able to actually put this up on there too, huh?
Yeah, Miss Charlene and Dawn was saying that after oh, okay, so she's on there too. After
okay,
it renders, then we can put it on. I'll be able to put it on YouTube. So I'll do that.
Oh, well, bless God.
I think Dawn said it'll send me an email or something like that. I don't know. But...
And you can do it that way.
Mm-hmm. 3 in diapers sounds like
a good time to me, girl.
He likes kids, and it's not that I don't. I just my patience be thin, and I be praying. Hey, Chuck. Yeah, I know that was crazy. They're grown now. Well, not grown, but they're older now, right? She said you want hers.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You said bye-bye? You kicking them out? Okay. Are they twins?
Yo, I hear you, but you can't hear me. That's your mama's fault. Hey.
Oh. You could tell she heard you, right?
Uh-huh. You can see. Hey, baby. What's up, sunshine? What's up, sunshine? How you doing? You doing all right? That's good. Fist bump?
You want to give him a fist bump?
Fist bump. Boom.
Thank you, Chuck. She's a cutie patootie. I'm going to keep her.
I think we're going to keep her around for a while.
I give her at least 19 more years.
I was thinking like 17, but we're going to be real nice.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
She's trying to determine if she can hear you, I think. Ah,
No, she gonna eat it now. Yep. Man down, man down, man down, man down.
you're about to get fired yelling at people. All
All
right.
right, good people.
Well, it has been a pleasure talking with you guys about the blendedness of
It's
family
been a pleasure.
here in the safe place.
And whooping the kids.
Listen, don't whoop the kids too bad now. Don't
Please, man, listen.
don't take them in the
Talk
back
to
and beat them
the
down.
kids, man.
Conversate with them. Give them some options.
Please.
Thanks, Chuck. So, as always, it's great talking with you, love.
All right. Love you, and I'll be talking to
All
you in
right.
a few minutes.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, babe.
Bye.
Say, see you in a minute.
How do we get it? See you in a minute. How we get out of this?
I got to close it down. I think you got to leave too. Is it an X in your box?
Okay. Yep.
You got to hit your X.
Okay.